Guyana confirms second COVID-19 death. Full court rules it has no jurisdiction to hear recount case. Prime Minister calls for international inquiry into 2020 elections. In the region, Jamaica to charge price gougers. Internationally, UK looking for test subjects for COVID-19 vaccine. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Today, the Ministry of Public Health confirmed Guyana's second death to COVID-19. Here's more in this report. Today, Guyana has recorded its second death due to the coronavirus. The 38-year-old male victim passed away this morning in the coronavirus intensive care unit of the Georgetown Public Hospital. He was one of the two patients who were recently moved to the unit after testing positive for the coronavirus. He was initially admitted to the hospital for another illness, but later tested positive for the coronavirus and was admitted to the isolation ward as he started to show symptoms of the disease. It is unclear whether he had any direct contact with any of the other patients before testing positive. Described as the manager of a health care facility that offers the services of emergency medic technicians, he is said to have worked with both Georgetown Hospital and Balwansing hospitals in the past. It is unclear at this time how he became infected or his travel history. Today, Guyana has also seen an increase in persons testing positive for COVID-19, which brings the total number of confirmed cases to 12. In total, 52 persons were tested. The Pan American Health Organization is projecting that Guyana could see as many as 1,400 cases of the coronavirus. Guyana recorded its first case of the coronavirus on the 11th of March. Nevertheless, health officials continue to encourage citizens to practice social distancing and follow the guidelines of the Public Health Ministry. If you suspect that you may have symptoms or know of someone who may have symptoms of COVID-19, the Ministry of Public Health encourages you not to go to a health center. Rather, call their hotline numbers at 227-4986, 624-6674, or 624-2819. Small communities continue to lead the effort against COVID-19. Residents of the Region 10 village of Kamaka Mines have installed a hand-washing station at the entrance of their community. The move is to encourage visitors and residents to practice regular hand-washing to stop the spread of the novel coronavirus. Community leader Dexter Harding explains that the residents thought of the idea and the CDC quickly came on board. He said the permission was sought at the level of the Regional Democratic Council, Linden Mayor and Town Council, and the Region 10 Police Division, and granted. In other news, acting on intelligence gathered, ranks of the Guyana Police Force intercepted a wooden vessel in the Kanji Creek on Monday evening. A search of the vessel revealed nearly 47 kilograms of suspected cannabis. Two males, both residents of Sand Hill, Berbice River, are currently in police custody. After the break, AFC calls for a national unity government, and full court rules it has no jurisdiction to hear the recount case.
Hi, my name is coronavirus disease, but you can call me COVID-19. I am a virus and I can make you sick. I can cause fever and cold. I can also cause you to have difficulty breathing. I'm in Guyana and I'm traveling around the world. I'm basically on every continent. I cannot make you sick if you wash your hands with clean water and soap while you sing the happy birthday song, or you can use hand sanitizer to rub your hands while you count from 1 to 10 slowly. When should you wash your hands? Wash them after you use the toilet? And before you eat a snack or a meal, remember, my name is COVID-19 and I can make you sick. Do all you can to keep away from me. A message from the Ministry of Public Health and PAHO WHO.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches high-stand 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
For that reliable, prudent, and courteous traveling experience, your choice is G3 Cabs, located at 228-229 Aubrey Barker Road and Beverly Close, South Reinfeld Gardens. Travel in comfort and safety with our deluxe fleet of new vehicles and neatly trimmed drivers serving our customers around Georgetown. We deliver cooking gas, small packages, run errands, and provide minor vehicular roadside assistance such as jump starts of vehicles, flat tires, spare wheel assistance, and more. Contact us on 218-4982 or 218-4500. G3 Cabs. You can count on us.
This is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babe? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Welcome back. Now for politics. In this report, Esther Sobers tells us that the Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu is calling for an international inquiry into possible interference in Guyana's 2020 elections.
Indicated that they came here to work for Exxon.
Earlier this month, Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan raised claims of outside interference into Guyana's 2020 general and regional elections. This week, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu echoed Ramjatan's sentiments in his newspaper column, My Turn. Nagamutu is calling for liberal Democrats from around the world to heed calls for international inquiry. The electoral process has been heavily criticized by local and international bodies, calling the process flawed, while the U.S. Department of State had hinted a possible sanction being levied. Nagamutu questioned this, saying, quote, "It is interesting to note the number of times the American Deputy Secretary of State has intervened to issue threats against Guyana, even as the United States is battling its own challenges to fight against COVID-19, as of all other countries are doing at this time. The urgency of the Guyana's mission appears to take precedence." End quote. Nagamutu said that patriotic Guyanese are taking note of the invites and threats to wreck their democracy and remain a monument of patience, resolute in the duty to defend the nation's sovereignty. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. This morning, the High Court unanimously agreed that it has no jurisdiction in the elections recount case. This now opens up the possibility of a CARICOM-sponsored recount for the 2020 general and regional elections. George Gonzalez has that story.
On Monday, the full court discharged the injunctions granted by High Court Judge Franklin Holder. The injunctions stopped the Guyana Elections Commission from carrying out a CARICOM-supervised full recount of votes cast in the March 2nd general and regional elections. In a unanimous decision, the full court ruled that it is not within the court's jurisdiction to review decisions of GCOM to carry out its mandate. According to Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George, Article 162 of the Guyana Constitution allows GCOM to independently resolve issues that may arise. This includes allowing the votes to be recounted in a manner that is contrary to the established elections laws. Justice Holder granted the orders at the request of Ulita Moore, who was an East Coast Demerara candidate for the coalition in the 2018 local government elections and a Region 4 candidate for the coalition in the March 2nd elections. The agreement was signed on Monday night. The full court has now reversed that decision. Channel 2 Headline News, George Gonzalez.
Thanks, George. No matter who is the winner in this year's general and regional elections, Coalition Member Party Alliance for Change is calling for a national unity government and immediate constitutional reform. More from Mr. Sobers.
Monday night, the Alliance for Change endorsed calls for national unity government and constitutional reform. The AFC said that no matter which party takes the seat of government, both must engage each other in a power-sharing administration with clear long-term goals. Specifically, the AFC says that a minimum the proposed talks should include arrangement for a government of national unity for a mutual agreed defined period, a census and national registration exercise to be undertaken, and constitutional reform to pursue and complete within the life of the national unity government, which must include a reform of the electoral system. The AFC says it is committed to this pathway and calls for all political parties, civic leaders, and all Guyanese to go beyond the recurring political rhetoric and open avenues to achieve national unity. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. When we come back from the break, we have your regional and international news.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches high-end 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
For that reliable, prudent, and courteous traveling experience, your choice is G3 Cabs, located at 228-229 Aubrey Barker Road and Beverly Close, South Reinfeld Gardens. Travel in comfort and safety with our deluxe fleet of new vehicles and neatly trimmed drivers serving our customers around Georgetown. We deliver cooking gas, small packages, run errands, and provide minor vehicular roadside assistance such as jump starts of vehicles, flat tires, spare wheel assistance, and more. Contact us on 218-4982 or 218-4500. G3 Cabs. You can count on us.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
call.
Shiny man, long time in a hear or see you.
I didn't really feeling too good.
He never give me no coronavirus, not me.
Like she know you can get COVID-19 from a phone call? What? Hear this. When somebody cough or sneeze, they spray small liquid droplets from their nose or mouth. If you are too close, you could bleed in the droplets, including the COVID-19 virus if the person coughing got the virus. And bops! Just like that, you get coronavirus. So, stay at least 1 meter or 3 feet distance between yourself and everyone, especially those who are coughing or sneezing. Or better, stay home and don't go out liming.
Yeah, Shiny man, I can talk all you want now. I can hear and see you. This is a message from the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Welcome back. George Gonzalez brings us your regional and international headlines of the day.
Greetings to all our viewers. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. The Jamaican government says as of Tuesday, retailers found to be charging customers excessive prices for goods during the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic can be fined up to $2 million Jamaican dollars or sentenced to 2 years in prison. This is unless retailers prove that the difference in the price for the item in question is caused by the increase in cost the business paid in obtaining those particular goods. The new legislation covers a number of items including food or drink, personal care items such as soap, cleaning products, antibacterial products, toiletries, alcohol, hand sanitizers, bleach, and gloves, as well as medical supplies, including surgical masks and prescription and non-prescription medication. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, who introduced the order in the Senate, said it is aimed at protecting consumers. Many states in Latin America have imposed restrictions on movements to fight the spread of the coronavirus as cases in the region rise to more than 10,000. But Brazil's president, Jair Bolsonaro, is still downplaying the dangers posed by the pandemic, saying the economy must be the priority. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
Mary Mamani lives in El Alto, just outside Bolivia's capital, La Paz. Like many other Latin American countries, the government has imposed a mandatory quarantine for all citizens. But Mamani, who works as a taxi driver, is afraid about how she's going to feed her 8-year-old son.
As a mother, it is painful because you open your refrigerator and see it empty. Every day the food runs out. As a mother, I don't know what I'm going to feed my son. What are you doing? As a mom, I stop eating. For example, 3 weeks ago, I bought some chickens because I was working with my taxi. I keep the chicken for my son. I don't eat. My son is the one who eats. I prefer that my son eats and not me.
Coronavirus is just starting to spread in Latin America, and governments are taking harsh measures to control it. There's over 10,000 cases in the region, and those figures are likely to increase. In Argentina, President Alberto Fernández has just extended the ongoing quarantine until mid-April. Thousands have been detained in Argentina, and the military is using helicopters to control compliance with the quarantine.
Security forces are controlling the entrance to the city of Buenos Aires. They're detaining and confiscating the vehicles of those who do not have permits to be on the streets. It's an enormous challenge for authorities here, but the government says that this is the necessary measure to prevent the spread of the virus.
But there is one country whose president remains in denial about the dangers of COVID-19. Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro, who insists governments should prioritize the economy.
The virus is there and we're going to have to face it. We're going to have to face it like men, not like children. We're going to face the virus with the reality of life. We're all going to die someday.
On Sunday, 2 of his tweets were deleted by Twitter because they violated the rules of use by potentially putting people at greater risk of transmitting the virus. The posts were videos of the tour that the president took in the federal district, contrary to the guidelines of his own Minister of Health, who recommended that people stay at home as a measure to fight the coronavirus. In Brazil's slums, NGOs are stepping up efforts to help the poor.
The investment in social security in the country is being reduced from year to year in the last 4 years, and believe it, in this year, in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, we're having reductions on Bolsa Familia. So that's absolutely crazy.
Government action is the only way millions of people in the region have to survive the months ahead. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
And internationally, countries around the world are racing to find a vaccine for coronavirus. In the United Kingdom, there is a call out for volunteers to participate in human trials. Al Jazeera's Neve Barker reports.
Scientists are at war with COVID-19. Dozens of laboratories are now battlegrounds in the race for a vaccine. Here at Oxford University, volunteers' blood samples are prepared for testing ahead of the first human trials of a vaccine. The blood will be checked for antibodies and any T-cell response to the virus. T-cells can recognize and destroy infected cells. And here in Germany, one small company, part funded by Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates, says it too will soon have a vaccine ready for human trials. It may look like slow work, but things are moving at breakneck speed. It can take decades to develop a vaccine. This lab wants one much sooner.
People are saying, well, that could be 1 year to 18 months, which of course is much shorter than a normal development for vaccines that can be 10, 15, even 20 years.
This is the enemy. Corona means crown in Latin, named because of the spikes on the virus's outer coat. This crown is also its weakness. The vaccines under development contain the genetic sequence of this surface spike, which primes the immune system to attack the virus if it later infects the body. But what about those most at risk of contracting the virus? Symptoms can range from a runny nose to a sore throat to a fever. But it can escalate quickly among people with respiratory problems or underlying health issues into full-blown pneumonia. One team of British scientists believes our best line of defense lies deep in our lungs. They've developed this inhaler to help restore levels of a substance called interferon beta in people's lungs, vital for removing viruses from the body. Unhealthy lungs lack interferon beta. Levels also naturally deplete with age, which is why elderly people are more at risk of contracting the virus.
Patients with lung disease, diabetes, pre-existing heart and cardiovascular disease, they get the inhalation once a day for 2 weeks to increase the viral immunity in the lung, to prevent the virus from replicating and eliminating the virus more effectively.
The virus has led to an acceleration in engineering. This rapid COVID-19 test has been developed by the German company Bosch. Blood samples are inserted into the cartridge for analysis. It takes 2.5 hours for a result, and it's 95% accurate, but it could be many months before the equipment's readily available. Meanwhile, a number of firms, including the British vacuum maker Dyson, aeroplane maker Airbus and the Formula One team McLaren, are now racing to develop breathing aids to meet urgent demand. No single company or laboratory can do this alone. It requires international effort and resources. The world's best brains have been mobilized. Our greatest hope lies in science. Neve Barker, Al Jazeera, London.
That's all for today's regional and international news. Here is your 3-day weather forecast.
Thanks, George. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.